Hi YouTube, this is Sasha and Alicia with Chat Tea.
We are two best friends living in two different states, and join us while we share all the tea on 90 Day Fiancé, Bravo reality, as well as sharing married life and single life.
And make sure that you guys like and subscribe and turn on the notifications so you don't miss any of our reviews for any of the shows. Let's get on with the show. All right, so let's get right into it. This episode of Darcey and Stacey, it's season 1, episode 5, and it is called Clashes and Curveballs. So
there
we wake
are
up.
quite a few curveballs.
There are quite a few curveballs. So we wake up with Darcey and Georgie still in bed and all cuddled up and happy post-coital bliss. And Darcey is already madly in love. You can just tell. I mean, she's there.
Tears, the happy tears are starting to come, and I didn't think I could ever feel this way. Okay, we heard it before. And I like how she says in her confessional, I know this time they're not just feeding me lines.
I know they're not gonna what?
I know they're true with what they say. About him just saying she's like, he says all the right things, everything I want to hear. And I know he's not just manipulating me. Pretty sure we can find the episode of Tom's
hope.
Same conversation.
One can only hope.
Yeah, but then you watch what's still to come this season and you're like, yeah, no.
Yeah, I can't wait. We're going to get into it. All right. So Georgie tells us that Bulgarian men like to have a lot of sex because they have a really high testosterone. Give you some ideas. So yes, they are strong and strong like bull and need lots of sex. So it seems like Darcey's on board with that. We'll see if she can keep up. Yeah, hopefully it's not like Florian and he has to go to other pastures to get a little something.
Maybe. But that also brings in the thought. So when he is talking about that, though, that intensity and that just like, because he was saying they do powerlifting and all of this. And if you guys ever watched Total Divas, like one of the guys on there is Bulgarian, but he's like huge and just like massive and it's like not romantic. It's just a lot of
but some girls really like that. I mean, I'm not like a big and bulky, but that's just my taste. I know plenty of people who are.
I'm not either.
Yeah.
I know plenty that are too.
But I like them scrawny and I don't want them in better shape than me. Okay, let's just put it that way. All right.
None of us do. None of us do.
So we're not even minutes into this episode and Darcey's already crying about it, too good to be true. And now she's worried about this, move to LA that her sister and her are thinking about and looking into and how it's going to affect, her and Georgie's booming relationship. But good news, because Georgie says that he has options. He can move to LA, he can move to Miami, and you know what? He's a massage therapist and a hot one. And now he's got 90 Day Fiancé TLC fame coming on. So any big city, he's going to be fine. Like, just keep up with the Instagram and people will flock. And Darcey's just going to have to hit him off with a bat.
I will say I'm actually very impressed that she brought it up to him right away and wasn't trying to hide it or conform. Like, I am proud of her. And even, in the next scene when we talk about Stacey talking to Florian about it, I'm actually very proud of them for taking the stand on their business and saying, this is what I want and putting it out there right away.
No, it is good. I mean, that she finally, instead of like hiding it. But I wonder what the time lapse was between her trip in New York to hang with Georgie and whatever, because they had already bought the tickets, it seemed like. Or whatever their trip to LA was. Like, it's hard in the editing to see how close those were, but I mean, it could have been like next week we're going.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So we take a break from Darcey. That's going to be my new name for them. And move over to Florian and Stacey. And Florian is going to train her at the gym and help her work out a little bit. So, yeah. I mean, this should go well. When they were, I don't even know what it's called. what is it called when they were like, she was doing the lifts and she's
Pull-ups.
like, spot me, spot me.
The pull-ups or no, squats?
Like she was doing that, but he was in front of her and she had the bar.
Oh, the bench, the
big bar. Well, she was standing up though.
No, those are squats.
Okay. So, and she's like, spot me. And I'm thinking like the way they were, it looked like a recipe for disaster. I was like, someone's going to get hurt. That doesn't look
She was moving way. Yeah. I mean, I'm not a pro at the gym, but I was like, oh, honey, you're about to, I don't know what was about to happen.
Yeah. That didn't look good. It looked like someone was going to get hurt. So thankfully no one did.
Too much weight.
Continued filming. Yeah. The top heavy part too. I worry about that.
I meant on the bar, but that too.
Meow.
That's exactly what she did too in the episode. Between the weight on the bar and the weight in front of the bar, she was toppling over.
And I know something about that. I mean, these guys are not light. It's not fun.
These are real.
So Stacey's enjoying working out with Florian, but she's worried because she still has not brought up LA. So, she finally, as they're working out, kind of gets up the courage to bring it up to him. And she tells him that it's just a work trip. Her and Darcey need to go down there for work, check out some things, and she wants him to come with them. Florian is not thrilled at all. He feels like they're trailing after Darcey, and he really, at this point, doesn't want anything to do with Darcey. He just wants to hang out in Connecticut, chill, and he does not want to go on a work trip with Darcey. Not at all.
He was very adamant about it, and it makes me wonder what, like you were just talking about editing, what's going on behind the scenes, because with what he does, right, the modeling and him even talking about being a model, why wouldn't you want to be in LA as opposed to Connecticut? He's got a great body. He's got the 90-day fiancé, but even that, like, I think he could do well in LA.
I think he could too.
So what is going on behind the scenes? Well, because he was almost as mad about this as he was the windshield wiper 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, no, he was. He was getting really upset with her.
Mad.
I mean, they're arguing.
He was more mad because he left the confessional.
Well, he's really good at storming off. We see that. Great at storming off. He still, like you said, he stormed out of the confessional. But in the confessional, I mean, they argued, he stormed off, and then he did come back. So that's nice.
He did come back.
But I mean, he's not thrilled. He is now a throuple. And I don't know how he didn't see this coming. He should have, in all these years, gotten a little preview of the whole Stacey and Darcey twindom thing and known what he was getting into. But he doesn't want to be a throuple. He just wants to be with Stacey.
So I'm wondering if the second part of that is she promised him, the coffee's hitting today, guys. No alcohol today. Coffee today.
Yeah.
Alcohol. I'm wondering too, the way he got so upset about it, because obviously he's got to know. I mean, that they are a pair duo. I'm wondering if she promised
they're
him.
attached at the hip.
I'm wondering if she promised him a little bit of separation from Darcey. Because I can only imagine that was one of his concerns coming over here.
I bet. I could imagine too. And he's like, look,
we know he has a temper, but he got way too upset.
I think so too. So watch out, LA, because the throuple is on their way. Back over at Mike's house, Darcey and their dad's ex-wife come on in. They plop down on the couch. Mike, their dad, seems like this happens a lot. And then Darcey starts talking to him and telling him about their trip to LA and that she's just going to, maybe check out an apartment or two. Dad, doesn't look like he thinks this is the greatest idea she's ever had.
No, and we got more insight to this business too.
Yes, we definitely finally got some more insights to this business. So it seems that Daddy was the investor in this business. So that makes a little sense, because when Daddy or somebody who you're used to throwing money at you gives you money to invest in something, if you kind of want to slow down on it and quit it, you're not really, you don't think it's such a big deal. You know that you can still survive. Someone's still paying your bills. You're not like, we got to make this or break this, or like we don't eat. So that seems to be why they have been going up and down on their House of 11 brand. But Dad says, you know what? You really want to do it, but I will support you, but I'm not going to be the checkbook anymore. So I am
my
out.
love, support, but not my money.
Exactly. So he's out.
Does make sense, especially when he said, and I can kind of relate to this sometimes, when he said that, they were doing really good and then they just lost interest.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times, a lot of us do that, especially if we're trying to build a business or, whatever.
It's a lot of work. And that's the thing.
The people, if it doesn't happen right away.
The people that are like not giving up and pushing forward, their investors are either not their family, like a lot's on the line. They don't have a choice, or, this is it. They put all their eggs in this basket. They got to make it work because they need to put a roof over their head. That is not the case with Darcey and Stacey. So
Darcey in general, though, we can see even just in her relationship, she's very just like, okay, on to the next, like, and we'll see later in the episode. I mean, even her friends, want her to just be alone for a minute. They want single Darcey.
Just be you. Focus on you.
Yeah, so I can see how she's probably like that a lot in business. She's probably one of those circa Sonia of Real Housewives of New York, where she just wants to do a little bit of everything. Because even watching Stacey at the gym, you can tell she doesn't go a ton. You can tell that's not really her thing. But it's just, I bet they're the type that float around a lot. And Dad's probably been investing in a lot of their ideas and plans and dreams. And now he's like over it.
Yeah, now he's got to start saving some of that money for the grandchildren. So like you said, Daddy just said, I'll support you, Darcey, but I won't be investing. Sorry.
Yep.
So it is what it is. Next, we see the Sassy Sisters get their spray tanning on. This part was great.
So if y'all aren't following us on Instagram, check out Chat To with Sasha and Alicia on Instagram, where you can find 3 tips from the Silva twins on how to get ready for LA. This was probably one of I was just like,
this is a great scene.
It's a great scene. And
it was
from
hilarious.
I know Connecticut, it's very conservative. It's very quiet. It's very all this. Darcey and Stacey just don't give a about any of it.
And they're on the front lawn, not even in the backyard. Like front lawn right out there.
In clearly a wealthy neighborhood. Like I would pay money to see what the neighbors' reactions.
Oh my God, it was great. And they're so what they get the tarp out, drag the tarp out. Every good spray tan needs a good tarp base. I don't know why you couldn't just do it in the grass, but whatever. So they get the tarp out. And this tarp, where the hell do you even get a tarp that big? Was that necessary?
I don't even think it was an actual tarp. It was just this huge
big piece of plastic. Like, what do you do with that? I guess you just spray tan? I don't know.
Maybe like a mattress. It looked like maybe the size of like a mattress cover.
Oh, and maybe they just kept it.
Maybe from moving a mattress, like the big cover, and then they slid it so that it's not a bag anymore.
And then it's,
that's long. How big it was.
It was big. And then they proceed to plop down on it while they're waiting for, their spray tan crew to get there. And they are doing some, nice butt exercises. Got to keep that tushy in shape.
Right.
And then,
oh my God.
I'm sitting here watching this thinking it's Darcey and Stacey. They're for sure going to have like a legit, crew. Like you can hire people like from the spray tan companies. They come usually
with the little tents and ready.
Yeah, they bring the little tent. Usually you don't need your own piece of plastic, but now the plastic makes sense because in comes the car and out pop her friends. And that is her spray tan.
Who just recently stopped at CVS.
To get the best spray tan that the 99-cent store has to offer. So, and the first thing that Raina tells us is that she is not a professional spray tanner by any means. So this should go real well. Before the tanning,
we're talking about the color at the end. Raina's like, "We'll find out in 3 days."
I will never let you spray tan me. I'm going to just
maybe that's what happened with their extension. Hey, I would at least get a better thing. Maybe Raina's the one that put in her extensions. Like, we'll find out in 3 to 6 months.
She's like, I don't know how to do this either, but I'm going to watch a YouTube video and learn.
And I could spray tan you better than this.
Yeah, that
maybe.
Pay a little extra.
Well, actually, she probably down there just to do that for YouTube.
She probably didn't pay her friends anything, right? But I mean, pay some money. Have someone come and give you a proper spray tan. Jesus.
Well, she did say come in for wine, so I mean, she probably would have spent just as much on a spray tanner.
That's true.
The wine.
That's true. So before they actually get to the tanning, though, Darcey fills in the friends on her new man, Georgie. And already everyone can see that Darcey is already head over heels, smitten kitten. Even Stacey in their confessional is like, I can see it. You got like hearts in your eyes, hearts coming out. And then Raina just says she hopes that Darcey can be happy this time and we can all see like the fun, loving, fun side of Darcey and not just all the crying Darcey. And Raina, girl, don't we all?
We feel ya. We feel ya.
We're all there with you. All right, and so now it's time to pack up for LA, and Darcey wants Stacey to come over to her house because Stacey is with Florian in the Airbnb. So Stacey comes over, but she brings over her wedding dress, and Darcey has not seen this wedding dress. So I mean, I am shocked that they did not pick out this wedding dress together. But Stacey does tell us why. So it turns out that Stacey bought this dress in Moldova, and she went with Florian and Florian's sister, and she just wanted to go to the wedding dress shop and get a wedding dress that she really personally liked, and she didn't want her sister to be there because her sister and hers taste is not always exactly the same. And so she just didn't want her sister to be there and be negative about the dress and to be telling her she didn't like it. And I get, that makes sense. So she decided that she's not going to tell Darcey and she's just going to buy a dress without her.
Stacey is definitely more, I think, independent and individual than Darcey.
100%.
Like, she wants to have these moments, but I think she also knows her sister.
Yeah.
I don't think Darcey would have, it would have been a great scene to film, but I don't think she would have been the most, look at when they were coming in and they were grabbing the tarp.
Yeah.
Like, they pretended like it was her veil, and Darcey was just like, oh, let's just get inside and get wine.
Yeah, she wouldn't have been supportive. It would have been like the one rude aunt on Siesta the Dress that hates everything. And then the one you love, she's like, absolutely not that. And now I'm not even going to give you the money I was going to give you to get that one.
Yep. Well, and she even did talk about the dress and was making a comment about how her boobs would look in it. And I'm like, that's the girl who wears things 2 sizes too small. Because she said something about they'd be squished.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah,
I thought it was beautiful. So I thought the dress was absolutely.
I think it is too. As soon as Darcey takes it out, gets it out of the bag, and she was definitely right because as soon as she gets it out of the bag, God, I got something in my eye. She holds it up, and her sister and Darcey is just instantly starts talking shit on the dress, and. Yeah. And then she proceeds to tell us that she never, ever, ever envisioned Stacey getting married pretty much anywhere in the world in a dress like this. And that her sister is now going to look like Miss Piggy.
Yes.
That's how rude can you be?
I don't even understand where any of that came from. The dress was amazing. I'm
sure
beautiful. It fits her perfectly. She was so happy about it.
But
I'm definitely team Stacey on this one.
Me too.
Bring Stacey to 90 Day Fiancé and let's just get rid of Darcey.
And she knew that, this was a dress that Florian would like too, because in his culture, you get the big poofy dress. So she was also trying to get something that she knew her future husband would like too. And Darcey just doesn't want to see it. She's pissed off. She wants to be the one getting married. So it is what it is.
That's all it is.
That's all it is. Yep. It is what it is. So then they fold this dress up and shove it back in the luggage. And I'm not sure why they're shoving it in the luggage. They said something about it. She wanted to take it to LA, but I'm not sure. Like, why would you take it to LA? It doesn't make sense to me. And
I couldn't quite figure all that out either.
And if you're not taking it to LA, why would you shove that dress in that bag? Like, just put it in a garment bag and hang it up in your closet like normal people do with their wedding dresses. I mean...
Well, again, let's look at their hair extensions.
That's true.
They don't even take care of them.
That's true. I forget. They are not normal. And then Darcey, you know, to throw even more shade on Stacey's upcoming nuptials, tells us that Stacey is not focusing on the things that she should be. She should be focusing on Darcey and House of 11 and them, you know, getting their business back on track. And she's spending way too much time focusing on Florian and their upcoming wedding. I mean...
She is definitely like... I'm hoping that show Bridezillas comes back just in time for Stacey or Darcey to get married, because she is going to be the queen of Bridezillas.
Mm-hmm. Well,
it's going to be all about her. The second she's officially engaged, it is going to be all about her.
Oh, it's going to be insane. But if she can get that far to get a guy to actually, you know, propose to her, I mean... She seems to do a pretty good job of scaring the crap out of them and making them head for the hills before they even get to that point. So, I mean, I haven't searched for spoilers yet. I usually do because I like to know these things. But I don't know. My gut feeling is that this season is not going to be ending with a ring on Darcey's finger.
No, 100%
so,
no.
Yeah.
100% no.
And then the episode kind of takes a more serious turn, and something that, you know, has definitely hit us all recently in the last 6 months, and that we all...
Dad interrupts the packing.
Yeah.
Very seriously, too.
Yes.
And you're like...
It's like, girls, I need to talk to you. So... He sits them down and he starts telling them about the coronavirus and that it is full on in China. LA and California are becoming a hot spot. Several other cities he mentions that are big hot spots. And he tells them, you know, that he does not want them going to LA. He doesn't think it's the right time. He thinks it's a bad idea. And at this point, it's pretty new. I mean, all of us now know how serious it is, but at this point, it's pretty new. And, you know, he had telling them.
Actually, I think, delivered this to them because he said he had a contact back in China. So if you guys remember, he had come from China to spend the holidays with them. But because of coronavirus, he couldn't go back to China. So that's why he was still there. That's why he was involved in all this. And he had a contact from China call him and talk to him about it and basically tell him, which I get chills thinking about it because we all lived it, but when you go back and see how some of it started, it is. I actually teared up a little bit because
it feels like a movie.
You know, he's like
it doesn't even feel
real. It is, and he was talking about it, and he was like, you know, and we've all been in our not fantasy, but like we've had our reality TV that has continued on, right? Nothing's really started to bring up coronavirus until now.
Yeah, it's just all coming out now.
In the actual episode. Yeah. So you're kind of seeing where production probably stopped. And they, you know, he was saying, like, I've got this contact that's basically saying it's headed for us. It's going to be just as bad. It is going to shut down the U.S. because of how it shut everything down in China. And he was saying it's been 4 months.
Yeah.
And they're still not back to normal. And it was, I think at first, I'll be honest, like a little bit less serious, but I don't think Darcey in the beginning was taking it as serious as Stacey was. Just the looks on their faces.
Well, I don't think she takes anything as serious as Stacey does.
I don't think she does. And I think as her dad started to talk and when he brought up, look, it's been 4 months in China and they're still not back to normal. I think that's what hit her.
Yeah.
And also see the look on her sister's face.
Yeah.
But yeah, very, very serious. And, you know, they did I was wondering if that's when they stopped production.
But and there's when 4 episodes, so we're going to see them going.
There is, but if you
going through quarantine.
If you notice in the preview, so they start talking about coronavirus and being quarantined. and you can tell when like her and her daughters go shopping, they don't have a camera crew with them. It's just them
that's
on
right.
their
It's their
phone
phones. Yeah. And I think we're
and
going to
I will
see.
tell you, when they walk down that toilet paper aisle,
Yeah.
I'm getting chills now because it's like we all remember that. And it's like,
Well, I still
oh
can't.
my gosh,
I still can't get the simple kitchen cleaner that I like. I mean, it's ridiculous. Like that, everything is out on the stores. I will say though, Amazon guys, I managed to get cleaner and stuff, just regular like Lysol spray kitchen cleaner that I like on Amazon. I find them.
good.
Still, I'm not
I know.
seeing
I
it in
need to
stores, but
I still need to get Clorox wipes. But
yeah,
with that said,
wipes
I also haven't
wipes aren't anywhere, but you can at least get some spray. Oh, and we are going to see, like what you're talking about with the phone. I know that Orange County, Real Housewives of Orange County is coming back. And I think a lot of it from just the commercials they've shown is like them going through coronavirus hitting and quarantine. And we're going to see a lot of that self, footage from people's phones. So
that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
I mean, they were doing reunions. It's so funny too, because like now we've been in this for 6 months now. I don't know about you guys or even you, Sash. I know that there's things that have changed, but this sadly feels like the new normal, which is not a good thing.
I hope it's not,
but
because
it feels more normal.
I can't freaking breathe in those stupid masks. So I really hope this is not the new normal. I hope a year from now, and enough people will have gotten it, will have herd immunity. It will have like worked its way through like anything else. And maybe, people get it one here and there. And just like the flu, yes, the flu kills people every year. So,
I think it will be.
Hopefully.
But it's interesting being in this for 6 months and then all of a sudden going back to that moment where you're walking down the aisles and there's no toilet paper.
Yeah.
And how, as us, we'll always get those chills. We'll always get that pit in our stomach. Much like when we still see, the planes hit the towers, right? We still get that, I remember where I was feeling. And it's crazy to think that this is happening.
Thankfully, I stocked up because I didn't have any running out of toilet paper problems. So
I didn't either. I actually went to Costco up here literally a week before
and got some.
It really like went out.
Wow.
Right before people started rushing to the store, and it was only because I needed dog food, and the dogs were completely out of food, and I was like, because I was trying to go in that month because toilet paper was on sale, and the dogs needed food.
Yeah, so
and
why not?
They had been out for a day already.
Oops.
My dog doesn't eat a lot, so it's fine, people. It's fine. No need to call PETA on me.
You can always throw him some turkey or chicken from the fridge for now. Yeah, for a day.
We give him eggs and we give him chicken. Yeah. They were eating both of those. But I went to the store because I was like, dang it, I really need to get them food. Yeah. And I was like, well, while I'm here,
might as well
do the Costco trip, right? So I bought paper towels. I bought toilet paper. I did not buy wipes because I don't use them a ton. I use other cleaners.
Never use them because I don't like all those chemicals on my hand. Yeah, so
I use them. I like them in my bathroom for quick wipe downs or in the kitchen for quick wipe downs. I wish I would have picked
them. I still use a paper towel and spray. But the only thing that I did buy more than I would usually of is formula for my baby. Because I was a little bit worried that if people start going crazy, so I didn't hoard 20 cans, but I bought a couple more extra just to have on hand because, the baby needs to be fed. So otherwise, it's crazy.
Starting her on solid foods at 3 months.
Let's go, baby.
Gum it down.
Yeah. So, it kind of sucked to end on the sadder note, but it is reality TV, and this is the reality. So here we are. The twins, they take Dad's advice and they postpone their trip. However, so the one happy thing that will come out of this is that Florian got his way. Yay! No going to LA with Darcey for Florian.
Team Florian.
So at least one person.
He still probably hasn't napped, but he's not going to LA.
He's not going to LA. He does not have to be a throuple. And from what we've seen in the commercials, he does not have to quarantine with Darcey either. So that's going to make him happy.
No, wait, doesn't he though? Because they have that apartment, or do they have
they showed from next week is that they got an apartment, but it looks like they each have their own apartment. She walked down the hall, and then you hear Darcey's or Stacey's voiceover saying I wouldn't quarantine with someone I've only been on 2 dates with, and then Darcey opens the apartment door, and then Georgie's standing there. But they show, like, in the other apartment, they show, and these are small apartments, guys. They show Darcey or Stacey and Florian on the bed, and the door is open, and Darcey's just kind of standing in the hallway. It's almost like a hotel type kind of setup apartment.
Like they're like micro apartments.
Yeah, they look like micro apartments. Yeah. So I have a feeling that they got 2 in the same building. So yes, he's gonna have to still be close to her, but he won't have to like live in the same house.
I think Florian would really try to find a way back to.
Oh yeah, I think he would find any way, shape, or form to get back to his hometown. Because so that's it, guys. That's it for this week's episode. Clashes and curveballs, and looks like next week though is going to bring it with the drama. So there wasn't a ton of drama on this one, but next week, at least from what they show us, it looks like there's going to be some pretty good drama. Georgie's going to spend some more time with them, and he's going to really get to see Darcey and Stacey together and what that craziness looks like of having the sisters around each other. And then there's a lot more drama with Florian and the chick from the Instagram pictures and the blue dress. Seems like we're going to get a little more details on that. And from the few clips they showed us, it basically looked like, he did bang the chick. So.
Yep, and it looks like Darcey actually confronts her.
Stacey.
They FaceTime.
Yeah. Oh, wait, Stacey.
Are you sure that was Stacey or was that Darcey?
No, I think it was Stacey talking. Oh, God, I don't know now. Now you got me sucking. They need name tags.
I think it was Stacey or Darcey because she had the head wrap.
Oh,
and then she went
I thought it was Stacey.
I think she went and told her the news.
Okay. Maybe.
I don't know.
Well, we'll find out. So
one of the twins FaceTimes her.
Yeah, we'll find out. So, guys, make sure that you join us next week to watch episode 6. And thanks for tuning in. Make sure that you like our video and comment. Let us know what you thought about it. And go ahead and subscribe. If you haven't, hit the little bell. Make sure you turn on those notifications. And come back here for more. I'm like, damn it, where were we?